wakoloni wote wakarudi nchini kwao.
Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, madaraka ni yetu sasa. Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, madaraka ni yetu sasa.
Uwezo ni wetu sasa, tunao uhuru kweli, wa Kenya wajitawala, wananchi wafurahia.
Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, madaraka ni yetu sasa. Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, madaraka ni yetu sasa.
Serikali yetu imbioni,
tunaendelea mbele.
serikali yetu imbioni,
tunaendelea mbele.
tunafuata mwendo wetu Kenya wa harambee.
Moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, serikali yaenda mbio.
Moto
moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, serikali yaenda mbio.
tuzidi kuenda mbio, sote tuende mbio, tupate maendeleo, nchi yetu iende mbele.
Moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, serikali yaenda mbio. Moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, serikali yaenda mbio.
Kweli twaenda mbio, Kenya yaenda mbele. Kwa elimu twaenda mbele, matibabuni twaenda mbele, viwandani twaenda mbele, na mashambani twaenda mbele.
Moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, serikali yaenda mbio.
Twajivunia tu wa Kenya, nchi nzuri, nchi sawa, ni dhahiri tu pamoja, twaungana kwa furaha, pambane na kila janga.
Good afternoon, everybody. Distinguished guests, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow Kenyans, welcome. We have some few minutes of niceties, so you can enable your video and just meet and greet a little bit. We have 2 to 3 minutes before we start the full program. I see some fellow there out there. Say hi to Balozi. Anybody there? You can enable your video again. Good afternoon, everybody. I see Professor Otiso there, Mutisia. You can unmute yourselves. Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
This
Now
is
you
Ambassador
can.
of Sudan. Hello, how are
Hello,
you?
hello. Okay.
Hello.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hello.
Hello, Gasheru.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hello, everyone from, I'm in Kenya, but
Okay.
I'm part of the Biafra thing, so.
Oh, that's
Hi.
Hey, man. Hey.
How you doing, buddy? Doing
Yeah,
all right?
man. Koisama.
Yes, sir.
It's amazing. We have to go through the embassy to talk. It's amazing.
Oh yes, my
Yeah,
neighbor.
I see Mutura is there too. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
purpose, so that at least you could be able to engage before we start the formal part.
Yes, your person does. So
Pleased to see so many friends I've not seen for a long time.
oh good to see you. Good to see you.
I tell
Good
you.
to see you, Ambassador.
Very good, very good.
Yes,
Even
very
Lord
nice to
Weston.
see you.
Very
See
ambassador.
you, Your Excellency.
Congratulations, ambassador.
Asanteni sana.
Your Excellency.
Good to see you. Yeah.
In uniquely Kenyan.
Yes.
This is nice.
Happy Jamhuri Day, all of you. Happy Jamhuri Day.
Happy Jamhuri.
Out there, so
Jamhuri Day,
Ambassador
ambassador.
Twale,
I'll keep on
karibu
breaking.
sana.
I keep on breaking because of the network situation in Kenya, so.
Uh-huh.
Congratulations, Lazarus. Good to
Thank
see
you very much. I've seen Suruldin also, and Sukamfuza, and our East African Dean from Rwanda. Quite a good number, I'm seeing.
Hello.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations, my brother.
Thank you, Prof.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's
Oh yes.
Congratulations,
Ambassador
North
Carolina,
Happy Jamhuri Day.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Hello, Ambassador. Congratulations from the
Thank-
Cuban Embassy.
Thank you very much. Karibu.
Congratulations from the Embassy of Grenada.
Nice to see you too.
Congratulations from
Andrews State of Washington.
From African Union. Congratulations.
Oh,
Congratulations from South Bend.
oh, I can see.
Congratulations from Seattle, Washington.
Congratulations
And
from Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
Oh, very good, very good.
And congrats from Lansing, Michigan.
That's Owiti, yes, from Michigan. I've also seen Ongo somewhere there.
Congratulations, Ambassador,
And
from Marion Springs, Michigan.
Dr. Mari and Mrs. Omari, whom I've not seen for a very long time.
Thank you, Ambassador. Congratulations from California.
Thank you very much, Dr.
And on the other hand, congratulations from Florida.
From Houston, Texas.
Very good.
Hongera kutoka North Carolina.
Jirani.
Congratulations, Excellency, from Morocco Embassy in DC. Hongera sana.
Asante sana from the kingdom.
Thank you.
Congratulations
from the middle of the country in Ohio.
Okay.
Very good. And I can see our guests from the State Department are also in Karibuni sana. I'm even seeing my niece there, Jemima, and Rainbow and William. Karibuni. And Dr. Gumbo.
Congratulations from the
Excellency from Kenya USA Diaspora Circle.
Oh, karibu sana.
Congratulations, Ambassador, from the UN in New York.
Oh, asante Bwana Kilondu.
Takona.
Team, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Ambassador,
Ambassador.
from U.S. Customs and Border Protection from Washington, D.C.
Nice.
Thank you, and we value the cooperation that we have with you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Ambassador,
Congratulations
from the Turkish
from
Embassy.
Raleigh, North Carolina, Frank Mutura.
Okay.
Mutura,
Yes.
say hello to my daughter and to my granddaughter.
Yes. I'll do that.
And if not, Chiuri will do it on my behalf.
I'll do that. I'll do that, Balozi.
Banagashero, I hope we are not taking over from you.
Okay, it's okay, it's okay. This is important. This is very important. Yeah. Balozi, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies. George, you're there? You want to start the national anthem, please? Sincere apologies, I think. Okay, go ahead. Okay.
O God of all creation, blessed is the Lord nation. Justice the shield and defender. May we live in unity, peace and liberty. Plenty be found within our borders. Let one and all arise. Bring our strong and true. Service be our honest endeavor. And the homeland of Kenya, heritage of splendor, from where we stand to defend. Let all with one accord, in concord but united, build this our nation together, and the glory of Kenya, the fruit of our labor, fill every heart with thanksgiving. Mungu twaomba uilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. Uzalendo pia mshikamano viwe msingi wa umoja wetu, na tulinde uhuru na amani, mila zetu na desturi zetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. Viwandani na hata mashambani, tufanye kazi sote kwa umaskini, tujitoe kwa hali na mali, tuijenge jumuiya bora. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Welcome again. We're going now to the next session where we have our speech by His Excellency the President on the open remarks during the 2020 Jamhuri Day celebration. With that, we're going to be followed a little clip of entertainment, and then we'll go to the next level. Thank you very much. Again, His Excellency the President's speech during 2020 Jamhuri Day celebration. Thank you.
Indeed, on this day in 1963, the Union Jack of Britain came down and we hoisted our beautiful national flag. And once again on the same day, in 1964, the Dominion of Kenya became an independent republic, and that same night, the British governor of Kenya departed from our land, marking the end of 78 years of colonial rule. Indeed, on that memorable day, the journey to create, build and nurture a nation commenced. As we celebrate our independence today, we must also pay allegiance to the two symbols of our nationhood. Both our national anthem and the national flag were gifted to us by the founding fathers as representations of our nationhood. The national anthem was composed from a Pokomo lullaby as a prayer by an expectant nation, a celebration of the fertility of our land, and a call to action whenever anything Kenyan is threatened. And this is why each time our nation gathers, our opening act is always to sing our anthem. On its part, our national flag is a symbol of our national wounds and scars that we bear from the struggle that started almost 100 years ago in the 1920s. It is a picture of battles we have fought, battles won and some lost. It is a picture of the dreams of our founding fathers, held dear, and the price they had to pay for us to realize them. Let the record reflect that our national flag is not just a piece of cloth decorated with ink, or a sentimental display of colors without history. Our national flag is indeed a historical record of our nationhood, its origins, and aspirations of our founding fathers. Each time we salute and pay allegiance to the black band of our flag, we must do it as a mark of our dignity. And indeed, the struggle for independence was primarily a struggle for dignity. And dignity was not about skin color. It was about a state of mind. In their documented memories, our founding fathers did not define blackness in reference to skin color. They defined blackness as an attitude that rejected the elevation of one race over another, a state of mind that scorned at the thought of one human being could be termed better than the other because of race, class, or gender. And this is the mantra of blackness that defines us as a people to date, unifying us in our ethnic, racial, religious, and cultural diversities. We also pay homage to the red band of our national flag. It symbolizes the boldness of those who stepped into the arena, did a duty to country, and paid the ultimate price. Today we salute and acclaim these heroes of our liberation that died to give us this Jamhuri Day. Similarly, we salute and hail our fallen heroes in the defense and security forces who have paid the ultimate price in order to preserve our peace, our sovereignty, and our way of life. May the God of all creation bless the departed souls of all our heroes. May he give their families comfort and pride, knowing that the sacrifices they made are a badge of honor in the making of our nationhood. Ladies and gentlemen, we salute and pay allegiance to the green band of our national flag. It is a prayer made by our founding fathers that the future of our nation will always have plenty within our borders, and that at all times, Kenya will be a bountiful, fruitful, and fertile nation. But fundamentally, the green band on our flag is an instruction from our founding fathers for each generation to hold in trust the bounties of our nation and leave a just inheritance for our children and their children. On this day, we also salute and pay homage to the white on our national flag. This is the glue that holds all other bands together, symbolizing our unity and oneness. They remind us that although we are 44 separate nations, we are one people, a rainbow nation of many colors. The two bands of white on our national flag are therefore a symbol of our nationhood, and they remind us that whenever we hoist the national flag, we must not just see the flag, we must see the nation of many colors. But our national flag has also one more image, the shield and two spears mounted in the middle, and it is a symbol that instructs us to stand firm and defend our homeland of Kenya, the heritage of splendor, against any threats, internally and externally.
Fahari yetu, undugu ndiyo nguvu, chuki na ukabila hatutaki hata kamwe, lazima tuungane, tuijenge nchi yetu, pasiwe hata moja anayetenganisha. Naishi na tumaini, najitolea daima Kenya. Hakika ya bendera ni uthabiti wangu. Yeusi wananchi na nyekundu kijani ni ya ardhi nyeupe ya amani. Daima mimi Mkenya, mwananchi mzalendo. Kwa uchungu na mateso, kwa vilio na huzuni, tulinyakuliwa uhuru na mashujaa wa zamani. Hawakusushwa na risasi, hakufungwa gerezani. Nia yao ukombozi, kuvunja pingu za ukoloni. Naishi natumaini, najitolea. Hakika ya bendera ni uthabiti wangu. Kundu na damu, kijani ni ardhi nyeupe ya amani.
PMC Production.
Kukuhera jamba chito chaita iria chiaro ire weani ne tokongo era jamba cia we adiciaro ire mbara niguo tiri witu ndukore makenyarire kamageito thakame niguo tukorwo hao muthi Nituikaranagie na thayo tondu maruaga niguo tuikarage na thayo bururi wa Kenya ni witu tuiguothe mundu mutongu na mutheni tukurea na tukanyua tukireithagia mahiũ maitũ nacio nding'ori maburoti nyũmba ya mũmbi njamba citũ itikariganĩre harambe 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 woi harambe akienda Jomo Kenyatta pamoja Wakenya wote wenzangu shikane pamoja wachiuru kanyakala mundo wagere Kenya wa wachiuru gikinda mundo wagere Kenya wa Kenya mama yangu we Kenya mama yetu we Kenya piny mabeno nyulo jotugo madongo dongo ya Kenya piny mabeno nyulo jong'wech madongo dongo ya Kenya piny mabeno nyulo jadhula madongo dongo ya Kipchoge Keino wuod Kenya mano jathurwaka Joka Denge wuod Kenya mano jathurwaka Injera Collins wuod Kenya mano jathurwaka Najivunia kuzaliwa Kenya Wakenya wote tuamuke tujenge uchumi yetu Kama nguvu tunayo elimu tunayo afya bora tunayo usalama tunayo usafiri tunayo ukulima tunayo utalii tunayo kazi kwa vijana tunayo ugatuzi tunayo Kenya moja Kenya moja twapendana twasherekea umoja wetu nchi ya baraka na fanaka wa Kenya ni wazalendo.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you very much. Our best resource in our country is our people, our culture, and the languages, and I think you got a taste of that. On this regard, we've got to move to the next level progress for our project. I want to sincerely invite His Excellency, Ambassador Razamayo, our Head of Mission Kenyan Embassy. He's going to be giving his Jamhuri Day speech, and also he's going to be inviting our chief guest. And immediately after that, he will do a small thank you note to the closing remarks. Thank you very much. Ambassador Razamayo, your session, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony, Ambassador Gajeru. As a guest of honor, Mr. Arvin Masinga, Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary for the Bureau of African Affairs, senior U.S. government officials, the honorable members of the Congress, Your Excellencies, the ambassadors, and members of the diplomatic corps, captains of industry, the academia, the civil society, distinguished guests, diaspora leaders, fellow Kenyans, ladies and gentlemen. May I, on behalf of my wife Nelly and my strong team of dedicated colleagues and staff at the embassy, as well as on behalf of Kenyans in the US and Mexico, begin by warmly welcoming you to this virtual celebration of Kenya's 58th Independence Day, and thank you most sincerely for honoring our invitation and joining us by Zoom and others by YouTube. At least those on Zoom, we can interact. Apologies to those joining us by YouTube. You may not be able to get the feedback, lakini next time, God willing. And in this regard, as you've just heard from President Kenyatta through the video clip of 12th December 2020, it was not today's statement. President Kenyatta is actually in Tanzania, but this was a befitting message given last year in 2020, giving us something on the history of Kenya, as well as, of course, a subject on patriotism and nationhood that I believe for those that didn't get it last year is quite befitting. And with those sentiments already expressed by His Excellency the President, I thought that perhaps for me is just to indicate that Jamhuri Day, or 12th December, is indeed a very important date in Kenya's political calendar. As on the same date, 1963, 12th December 1963, we got independence. And 1 year later, on 12th December 1964, we became a republic with Mzee Jomo Kenyatta as the president and head of state. So it is a historic day on which we celebrate the bravery of our liberation heroes and heroines who made great sacrifices to give us the dignity and independence we enjoy today as Kenyans. I also wish to thank in a special way the chief guest, Mr. Arvin Masinga, for accepting to grace this occasion. We at the Kenya Embassy appreciate the good working relations that we enjoy with the team at the Bureau of African Affairs and the Department of State, especially the Kenyan desk and the East Africa and the Sudans. This Jamhuri Day, however, comes at a time when the world is still facing COVID-19 pandemic challenges. It would have been our desire and great pleasure to host you in an in-person reception with our distinct Kenyan cuisine and warm hospitality. But anyway, next time. Today you could only get the dances and songs for which I pity the master ceremony, because we have over 43, 44 language groups, and he could not bring all of them, but it shows our rich cultural heritage that sometimes some of us Kenyans who are out of the country may not be able to appreciate, but that is God-given gift that we need to cherish and carry along with us. At the bilateral level, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the Kenya-US relations have continued to grow both in depth and breadth over the last 57 years since Kenya and the United States established diplomatic relations in 1964. The strategic partnership established in 2018 during the visit to Washington, D.C. by President Kenyatta and in his meeting with former President Trump, it brought with it a provision for its implementation in what we call the annual bilateral strategic dialogue, anchored on 5 pillars, namely economic prosperity with trade and investment as a priority, democracy, governance, and civilian security, defense cooperation, multilateral and regional issues, and the 5th one being health cooperation. All this is going well, and we are happy about it. 2 sessions of the strategic dialogue have been held so far, with the first one in May 2019 here in Washington, DC. The second session of the BSD was successfully held last month on 17th November 2021 in Nairobi during the recent visit to Kenya by the US Secretary of State, the Honorable Anthony Blinken. The deep partnership between the two countries has been ably supported by high-level engagement between the two presidents and other senior officials across the various sectors. Since the election of President Joe Biden in November 2020, the two leaders in their various discussions have shared their commitment to addressing climate change, counterterrorism, regional peace and security, democracy, as well as advancing economic growth and sustainable development agenda. President Kenyatta held a bilateral meeting with President Biden at the White House on 14th October, just a few weeks ago. President Uhuru has also participated in virtual summits hosted by President Biden, which included the Climate Change Leadership Summit held in April this year, and even the just concluded Democracy Summit, where President Kenyatta gave his statement between 10:30 and 11 o'clock today. At the ministerial level, the Kenyan Cabinet Secretary, Ambassador Rachel Omamo, and the US Secretary of State have also visited and held bilateral meetings in Nairobi and Washington, DC. Other senior government officials and our respective institutions continue to engage to create mutual prosperity for our two countries. Ladies and gentlemen, the US remains an important trade and economic partner for Kenya. The US ranks 7th in overall trade with Kenya and is the second largest export destination, accounting for 10.7% of our total exports. Kenyan products access the US through the African Growth and Opportunity Act and the General System of Preferences. These exports largely are composed of textile and apparel, titanium ores, coffee, edible fruits, nuts, cut flowers, and tea, but would be glad to have the list expanded and be more diversified. Kenya appreciates this preferential access and joins other African countries in not only advocating for renewal of AGOA post-2025, but also reforms that will allow participating countries maximize on its utilization. Kenya continues to improve the business environment to attract investment in the numerous opportunities that exist in agro-processing, ICT, manufacturing, health, housing, and energy, among others. We welcome American investors to take advantage of these opportunities through public-private partnerships, joint ventures, or even purely on foreign direct investment. In this regard, I wish to commend the chambers and private sector leadership for great and fruitful collaboration in promotion of economic interests that we have had with them over the last few years. In this regard, the US Chamber of Commerce, the Corporate Council for Africa, the BCIU, the Potomac Exchange, the list is long. I cannot be able to enumerate all, have been co-partners of ours in promoting interest for investment in Kenya and having more access for Kenyan goods in the US. And this has been ably complemented by the US government through efforts of Prosper Africa, the MCC, USAID, the list is long. We'll have to engage another day to go much further. But permit me to indicate that Kenya-US cooperation on matters health remains an important cog of the bilateral relations. Kenya and the US cooperate through the President's Plan for AIDS relief, as well as the President's Malaria Initiative to expand malaria prevention and treatment measures and other health programs on global health security, strengthening health systems, and the Global Accelerator to end tuberculosis. On COVID-19, Kenya greatly appreciates the US donation of 4.6 million vaccine doses through COVAX program, as well as direct bilateral arrangement. To date, we have vaccinated 4.6 million single dose, 3 million double dose. So we have about 7.6 million. Our target is to vaccinate 10 million before the end of December. We hope you can be able to encourage friends and relatives back in the country to volunteer and take the vaccinations because the vaccines are available. We also, as a country, would wish to encourage other countries with excess vaccines to continue sharing with those less endowed and reiterate that the pandemic will only be contained through concerted global efforts and partnerships, and no one country is safe until all other countries are also vaccinated. We have expressed our readiness to collaborate with the US public and private sector in manufacturing of vaccines and therapeutics in Kenya, having exhibited capacity to do so in our collaboration with Oxford and others in the manufacture of AstraZeneca. On democracy and governance, we in Kenya gave ourselves the 2010 Constitution, which is relatively a very progressive one that prescribes essential rights and fundamental freedoms to the Kenyans or the citizens. The US has been supporting Kenya's efforts and programs in governance reform, anti-corruption measures, as well as countering violent extremism. Kenya is committed to promotion of democracy and human rights, and in this regard, Kenyans will exercise their democratic right to elect their leaders next year on 9th of August 2022. And for this matter, let me say to our diaspora that we are looking forward to the diaspora in the US being facilitated to vote. As Foreign Affairs and as the mission, we are there as facilitators, but the main player is the IEBC. And we are happy to announce that there's a delegation in the US, Commissioner Justice Nyang'aya and his delegation arrived yesterday. They'll be here in Washington, DC, and will subsequently go to New York and LA on mapping exercise as possible polling stations or stations that can be designated as polling stations come next year's election. Commissioner Nyang'aya will be touching base with the diaspora, and they already has touched base with quite a number of leaders, including the Diaspora Global One Voice Consortium, Dr. Chiuri and Dr. Ndiangui, and a good number already in touch through that umbrella, and other Kenyans that may not be in that umbrella. The IEBC would be in touch with you for purposes of facilitating both registration and subsequent voting next year. This particular session is not for voter registration, but I leave that for Commissioner Nyang'aya. They'll do registration at a later date, but at least they're on fact-finding mission. The Excellencies, turning to regional and multilateral front, Kenya this year continued to fully and effectively make contributions in various regional and international forums. In January 2021, Kenya joined the UN Security Council for the 2-year term of 2021-22 as a non-permanent member, and then assumed the rotational presidency of the council on the month of October. During this period, Kenya led several important discussions, including the high-level debate on peace building and sustainable peace, diversity, state building, and search for peace, which was chaired by His Excellency President Kenyatta on 12th October 2021 at the United Nations in New York. Kenya also convened a high-level debate on the Great Lakes region on 20th October, chaired by Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Rachel Omamo. And Kenya is indeed cognizant of its pivotal role in the UN Security Council in promotion of peace and stability in Africa and globally. And we are proud of our team at the Kenyan mission in the UN, led by Ambassador Martin Kimani. This year, we also stand proud of Kenyan professionals that have been elected to various professional positions in regional and international organizations. And Kenya wishes to express gratitude to countries, including the US, for their continued support to Kenya's candidatures. Even this morning, Kenya was re-elected to be a member of the International Maritime Organization in Category C. We also praise our sportsmen and sportswomen who have continued to break world records in various cities around the world. Just here in the US on 7th November, close home, we witnessed Mr. Albert Korir and Madam Paris Chepchirchir win the New York Marathon in their respective categories. We are proud of our athletes who are great ambassadors of the Republic of Kenya. In fact, I'll not say where, but there was a time I was told it will only be news in marathon if Kenya doesn't win, because we were winning virtually every year. Ladies and gentlemen, the US remains home to a large number of Kenyan diaspora. The diaspora is an important partner in our nation building and in the nation building endeavors in many sectors beyond remittances. But even if we talk about remittances today, which is the largest forex for the country, as of October this year, out of total remittances amounting to $3 billion, 62% originated from North America, and to be specific, 59% was from the US itself. I wish to applaud the Kenyan diaspora community in the US and Mexico for their continued contribution to nation building efforts and assure them of the commitment of the embassy team to continue serving and having robust engagements with them. For this, I thank the umbrella bodies like the Global Diaspora One Voice Consortium and others that are still being registered, that the mission is open to you to register with us, your organizations. Makes it easier, of course, for us if there's an umbrella body, but we don't dictate how diaspora organize themselves. Ours is only to facilitate. In conclusion, let me also take this opportunity to get closer to as we get closer to the end of the year, to sincerely thank all who have worked with us or supported or facilitated engagements in promotion of our national agenda here in the United States, from the White House to the departments, to the Congress, to the vibrant private sector led by the Apex Chambers, the civil society and the academia, the think tanks, and the great people of America. May I also thank our partners at the Bretton Woods institutions, namely the World Bank Group and the IMF, for timely interventions when COVID-19 emerged and challenged global community, particularly developing world. I cannot forget the diplomatic corps, my colleagues here in DC for solidarity and sharing, and last but not least, to thank the Kenyan diaspora and staff in our missions in DC, LA, and New York, namely Ambassador Njeri Karagu, Bana Omosa, and the team in LA, as well as Bana Wamel and the team in the consulate in New York, and the staff here. I thank you, Asanteni Sana, and it is now my honor and privilege to kindly invite our guest of honor to address the meeting. Our guest of honor, Mr. Arvind Masinga, is the State Department's Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary in the Bureau of African Affairs. And he comes to us with a wealth of experience in Africa, in Asia, and across the board, having served as the Acting Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary in the Bureau for South and Central Asia, even Deputy Assistant Secretary for Pakistan. He also served as Deputy Chief of Mission in Khartoum, Sudan, and also served in missions in Guinea, Conakry, Dominican Republic, Chile, Cote d'Ivoire, China. If I continue mentioning, it will take more time. We are honored and privileged to welcome the guest of honor, Mr. Arvind Masinga, to address the gathering. Karibu, Bwana Masinga. That is Kiswahili for saying, welcome, Mr. Masinga. Thank you very much.
I respond with Hamjambo, habari zenu. Ambassador Amayo and my friends from the Kenyan Embassy, it is my pleasure to represent the United States government as we celebrate this special occasion today. I know we all look forward to the day in which we can gather in person but I'm glad that technology allows us the opportunity to celebrate virtually. But as you said, next year, we look forward to a different engagement, one where we do this together. Today, we celebrate Kenya's 58th Independence Day, also known as Jamhuri Day. Or more aptly put, we are here to remember the beginning of your journey to build and nurture the strong, free, and democratic nation that is Kenya today. You have much to be proud of and much to celebrate today. Kenya set a powerful example for all of us in so many ways. Kenya's continued advocacy for stability and security in Eastern Africa, your principled leadership in the UN Security Council and the AU Peace and Security Council, your leadership in addressing the climate crisis, including the use of renewable sources for much of your energy, and your commitment to democracy and to making Kenya a freer and more open society, make Kenya a model for the continent of Africa. We are proud of the long, fruitful partnership between our two countries. Secretary Blinken, his decision to make Kenya his first stop on his first trip to sub-Saharan Africa as Secretary of State last month was no accident. Rather, it is a testament to the importance the United States attaches to our strategic partnership, a partnership that continues to deepen and evolve continuously. Our governments are partners on virtually every critical issue we face in the world today. During his visit, Secretary Blinken, in collaboration with Cabinet Secretary of Foreign Affairs, Rachel Omamo, held the second bilateral strategic dialogue, as you indicated earlier. I had the pleasure of Ambassador Fee, our Assistant Secretary, who unfortunately can't be here today, had the pleasure of participating in this dialogue, which highlighted the breadth and depth of our relationship. This dialogue and the work we have pursued within the strategic pillars of economic prosperity, defense cooperation, governance and civilian security, regional and multilateral issues, and health cooperation make clear that our relationship is getting stronger, not only on a bilateral basis, but also on global challenges like climate change and responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. And we are committed to advancing that cooperation. We're proud of the strong economic relations between our two countries, which include about $1 billion in annual two-way trade. Our trade relationship is diverse and balanced, anchored not just by extractive exports, but by a mix of agricultural, textiles, machinery, and tourism. America's private sector investments in Kenya across sectors ranging from food processing to telecommunications total more than $725 million, including $73 million in investments in Kenya's small and medium-sized enterprises generated through the great work of the USAID, Agency for International Development. Economic growth cannot occur without security and stability. We're grateful to Kenya for being a trusted partner as our countries consult frequently on critical situations throughout the region. We're also grateful for your contributions to the African Union mission in Somalia as we work together to defeat Al-Shabaab and other terrorist organizations. We are cognizant of the sacrifices that Kenyans have made in the fight against terrorism. The United States stands shoulder to shoulder with Kenya as we face this challenge together and as friends and as partners. Kenya stepped up to play a constructive role in the region, and we are very appreciative of this. We share a commitment to strengthening democratic governance and the rule of law at a time in our history when these values are facing challenges at home and abroad. Your government's participation in the Summit for Democracy yesterday and today demonstrates that commitment to ensuring democracies grow stronger and more resilient today continues to deepen and get stronger continually. And we want those voices to ring loudly for a long time to come. That is why our health cooperation is robust, focused on combating COVID-19, Ebola, HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria, and dedicated to ensuring that the Kenyan people have long, healthy, and productive lives. Secretary Blinken announced during his visit to Kenya that Kenya will be the first pilot country for our new Global COVID Corps, which strives to harness the strength of the private sector to help more people get vaccinated against COVID-19 and to do it in a way that builds lasting capacity on the African continent and in Kenya. The foundation for all this cooperation is based on the ties between our two peoples. Our countries are deeply connected on so many levels. Thanks to the thousands of people in the United States whose Kenyan heritage strengthens our close business and partnerships between our civil societies while deeply enriching our culture. These connections are deep, timeless, and critical to both of our futures. It is for these reasons I'm so happy to celebrate Kenya's 58th Independence Day with you today. All Kenyans should be proud of what you've achieved in the past 58 years, and I hope that each of you will recommit to continuing the hard work that has brought you to this point and will carry you forward to a brighter future. I wish all of you peace and happiness on that special occasion, and Ansantene Sana.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Arvin Masinga, our guest of honor, for your remarks. And I cannot forget also to acknowledge the presence of and thank Mr. Peter Lord, the head of East Africa and the Sudans, and Jennifer Barr, the senior desk officer for Kenya, and their teams for the great work that we're doing together with them. So on behalf of all of us, thank you very much, Mr. Guest of Honor, and we look forward to follow up on the issues that were agreed during the last BSD meeting. I thank you very much, and over to the Master of Ceremony, Ambassador David Gasheru. And Ambassador Gasheru, let me apologize to Dr. Chiuri that they would have wanted us to have a small presentation on the Global Diaspora One Voice Consortium, but time doesn't permit us. We'll be able to arrange, but it's an organization that would encourage the diaspora to look at. But as I said, we are only facilitators on matters of diaspora. Thank you very much, and over to you, Ambassador Gasheru.
Okay. Thank you very much, Balozio, for a wonderful speech, and thank you, the guest of honor, for this wonderful speech. Again, for the next sessions, is a more interactive, as more viewing entertainment session. This time, we're going to showcase Kenya as a reason for gateway to Sub-Saharan Africa, and also to showcase, as our guest of honor clearly articulated, our environmental impact and our environmental work. 60% of our energies are renewables, and this video is just to show the tourism and the economic impact that Kenya has on the East African community. So we're going to go ahead and start here in the video. So the video, but go ahead, please. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And in this session, I've seen some friends I've never seen for 40 years. A former classmate of mine, Mr. Oriada, I've just seen here after 40 years. Thank you very much.
Why Kenya? You tell me. The pride of Africa and home of the fearless. A vibrant, passionate population of great achievers. Yes, we won the Oscars, Lupita Nyong'o. We still reign supreme on track. Yes, 86 medals in the Olympics unknown. Athletics Kenya. Land of beautiful savanna and Point Lenana, rich with unmatched majestic wildlife and landscapes. Magical Kenya. Kenya, the one who brought you mobile banking innovation. The largest and most advanced economy in East Africa. Why Kenya? The cradle of mankind, the land of great history and heritage, the home of great minds and unfaltering hope. The entry point to the last emerging continent, the epicenter of the region. Welcome to the land of hope, home of determination, resting place of determination. So,
Thank you again for that. We got one more session of video to watch. This is becoming the final session of our playing session, and this session is going to be about 15 minutes, and it will signal the end of our program as we move. So you can continue watching it, and you can leave at your own liberty. I think we honor sincerely thank you all for coming and showing up for this preparation. We sincerely hope next year we'll be able to do it in physical form, and in spite of the current uncertainties we are going through. But we sincerely want to thank you very much for attending this meeting. So please go ahead, and we're going to continue with more entertainment. I will be shaking more. This will be more interesting, so I will recommend that you stay around and watch the program. Thank you very much. And some of you asking how they can get these videos, we can share them with you later on. So feel free. These are recorded sessions, and it's available on YouTube, and you can continue watching again and again. Thank you very much. George, go ahead.
The wait is over. After what seemed like endless months and weeks of staying at home, it's time to once again take to travel. It's time to go on an adventure, relax, unravel, and unwind. At Magical Kenya, we have missed you. And while you were away, a lot happened. Our rhino population increased in number. So did our elephants and giraffes. The vast plains of the Mara became greener. And we reviewed our health and safety protocols to ensure a safe travel to destination Kenya in the new normal. We have put in place all the necessary measures to make your travel safe and relaxed, from your flight to your hotel of choice, or even as you head out for a game drive. Nothing has been left to chance. With this in mind, it's time now to rediscover the magic of Kenya and nourish your wanderlust. We are ready to reconnect you with nature as you explore new adventures and discover new places. And there's quite a lot of catch-up to do. Come experience the great wildebeest migration at the Masai Mara. Or if you're into aquatic escapades, then the incredible whale migration at the coast awaits you. Sample a variety of sumptuous dishes from across the country. So, pack up your bags and get ready to treat yourself to an exciting adventure as you rediscover the true magic of Kenya. Magical Kenya. Rediscover the magic.
Simama wa Kenya wote simama. Simama wewe shujaa simama. Nchi yangu, jukumu langu, mimi ni shujaa. Shujaa, najivunia taifa langu, mimi ni shujaa. Shujaa. Simama Wakenya wote simama. Simama wewe shujaa simama. Simama Wakenya wote simama. Simama wewe shujaa simama.
Tunasonga mbele watu wote
kwa Jamhuri Kenya yetu.
Tunasonga mbele watu wote
kwa Jamhuri Kenya yetu.
Haya sisi sote wananchi tushangilie.
Eko Jamhuri, eko Jamhuri, eko Jamhuri Kenya yetu yaenda mbele. Eko Jamhuri, eko Jamhuri, eko Jamhuri Kenya yetu yaenda mbele.
Mikoa yaenda mbele, wilaya zaenda mbele, tarafa zaenda mbele, nchi yetu yaenda mbele.
Eko Jamhuri. wakarudi nchini kwao. Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, madaraka ni yetu sasa. Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, madaraka ni yetu sasa. Uwezo ni wetu sasa, tunao uhuru kweli, wa Kenya wajitawala, wananchi wafurahia. Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, madaraka ni yetu sasa. Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, madaraka ni yetu sasa. Serikali yetu imbioni, tunaendelea mbele. Serikali yetu imbioni, tunaendelea mbele. Tunafuata mwendo wetu Kenya wa harambee. Moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, serikali yaenda mbio. Moto 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 Kenya, moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, serikali yaenda mbio. Tuzidi kuenda mbio, sote tuende mbio, tupate maendeleo, nchi yetu iende mbele. Moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, serikali yaenda mbio. Moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, serikali yaenda mbio. Kweli twaenda mbio, Kenya yaenda mbele. Kwa elimu twaenda mbele, matibabuni twaenda mbele.
Okay, everybody, that's the end of our session. Thank you again for attending. We appreciate it. Thank you very much, and bye-bye to everybody.
Mikoa yaenda mbele, wilaya zaenda mbele, tarafa zaenda mbele, nchi yetu yaenda mbele. Eko Jamhuri, eko Jamhuri, eko Jamhuri, Kenya yetu yaenda mbele. Eko Jamhuri, eko Jamhuri, eko Jamhuri, Kenya yetu yaenda mbele. Mwaka wa 64 Kenya ikawa jamhuri. Mwaka wa 64 Kenya ikawa jamhuri. Wakoloni wote wakarudi nchini kwao. Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, madaraka ni yetu sasa. Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, madaraka ni yetu sasa. Uwezo ni wetu sasa, tunao uhuru kweli, wa Kenya wajitawala, wananchi wafurahia. Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, madaraka ni yetu sasa. Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, Kenya iko huru, madaraka ni yetu sasa. Serikali yetu imbioni, tunaendelea mbele. Serikali yetu imbioni, tunaendelea mbele. Tunafuata mwendo wetu Kenya wa harambee. Moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, serikali yaenda mbio. Moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, serikali yaenda mbio. Tuzidi kuenda mbio, sote tuende mbio, tupate maendeleo, nchi yetu iende mbele. Moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, moto moto Kenya, serikali Moto, moto, moto Kenya. Waka, moto, moto Kenya. Moto, moto, moto Kenya. Serikali yaenda kweli, twaenda mbio. Kenya yaenda mbele.